Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Adam Fugitt up against Mike Malott at UFC 289 in Vancouver, Canada. Adam, great to see you. You've got a Canadian on home turf. You're very much the visitor here. Do you relish those kind of opportunities?
Of course, that's your prototypical Adam Fugitt fight.
What's it going to be like for you then? I guess the crowd is maybe not going to be on your side. Do you like it that way?
Ah, you know, I don't know. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I fought in Vancouver, BC twice in my amateur days. I'm not sure if Mike's on the, Canadian from the West Coast or not. I kind of feel like I might have some people in there giving me some cheers.
Cool. And as in terms of a test, like when you saw his name, what was the first thing that came into your head?
After my last fight, me and the girlfriend were watching actually that card that he last fought on. And after that fight, I said, I could see them throwing me up against this guy. I think he's another top prospect from the Contender Series, which seems to be a trend. And I was like, I could just see them putting that one on the books.
How big was the Kinoshita finish for you and the performance? Do you think that was your real rival in the UFC?
We can call it that, but I'm still trying to, leave my mark, I guess you can say. But yeah, it was great for, the way it played out and all the visualization and practice and just everything we were going over in the room just to play out the way that it was supposed to was, it made me a real believer in, manifesting those things.
Has it given you more of a hunger for more? I mean, because the Apex doesn't always provide the biggest buzz in the room, but, numbered pay-per-view event in Vancouver, if you do something like that again, it's going to pop off, right?
Hey, that's what I'm hoping for, right? That's it's a great opportunity to go kind of make a statement and show that, I'm here and I want to be in main events. I want to be, on the main card. And so it's a huge opportunity. It's a dream come true, and I'm looking to go put my mark on it.
Do you think the UFC putting you on a pay-per-view on the main card, do you think this is them showing you that they see something special in you?
Unfortunately, I still feel like I'm kind of like the gatekeeper, right? They put me against top prospect after top prospect. Mike seems to be a top prospect in their eyes. He's the Canadian that they're trying to find their next big Canadian superstar. So unfortunately, I still feel like a bit of the underdog, and it is what it is. It helps me, it activates that chip on the shoulder I got a little bit. So.
This game is about more than just fighting, right? It's about also selling fights, also promoting yourself. Like if you knock out the Canadian, if you visualize that and what you're going to say on the mic and your trajectory, who you might want to call out next.
Oh shoot. I've actually had some folks, some fans throw out some good names. There was Brian Battle, there was Ian Gary matchup. There's plenty of guys in my division. So I think it'd be a little bit odd of me to call out the top of the food chain. So, I like both those names, and I look forward to potentially stepping in there against either one of those guys.
Who impresses you the most right now at welterweight?
He has yet to fight since we fought, but I really want to see where Michael Morales is going for sure. See what his next fight looks like, but we have yet to hear when he's going to be back in there. So I'm just keeping my eyes peeled for that one.
Are you intrigued by the Usman versus Chimaev fight?
I think Chimaev needs to move up to 185, man. He hasn't made the 170-pound weight class yet. I mean, he's a big dude. He's bigger than me, and I don't know if 170 is his forever home, and so I'd like to see him get up out of my weight class.
Why? Just because he's a scary dude?
No, man. I just, I don't want to have to go in there with the idea that this guy's not going to make his weight. He's not going to hold up his end of the bargain.
Do you think he'll get a reality check from Usman? I mean, Usman's arguably one of the best welterweights ever.
Kamaru is, I definitely think that's somebody that to give him a bit of a reality check for sure. He's definitely gonna, be able to feel like shut down some of that wrestling that Chimaev brings, and I think his striking is better than Gilbert's, and you know, we saw what Gilbert, you know, Burns was able to kind of bring to the table in their fight, and you know, I even would go on the limb and say I kind of thought I had Gilbert winning that one.
We are saying goodbye to Robbie Lawler. He's having his last fight. I think it's UFC 290. What does he mean to this sport?
I mean, him and the Rory McDonald fight will forever be one of my favorite fights. In fact, I was kind of looking at that fight, thinking, you know, go in there, get this W, and then you know, they always like sending me into enemy territories. Let's send Robbie out in his hometown, you know, Florida, or where he fights out of. You know, let's send him out in style, and I'd love to be in there against a UFC legend, somebody that's really, you know, built the sport and that I got a lot of respect for.
I feel like we're saying goodbye to a lot of legends right now. I mean, Nate Diaz said he's coming back. We're saying goodbye. I mean, Stephen Thompson's still there. Is there anybody like of that era that you would like to fight who's still around?
Robbie's definitely the guy that jumps off the page there. You know, we are seeing a big, you know, generational change, I think, and that makes me excited because that means, you know, I have an opportunity. But as far as anybody else outside of that realm, yeah, I mean, Jorge Masvidal just retired too, so I mean, it's tough. It's not too many of those guys left, you know. Maybe it's only gonna be the Wonder Boy hanging in there at the end.
You're 34 now, right? So are you in a hurry to achieve your goals? I mean, are your goals getting towards the world title, or do you just love to fight, or are you here for the money? Like, what's your motivation, and what do you envision for your trajectory?
You know, it's a kind of all of those things, right? I am late getting to the party, and so I want to make up for some lost time and, you know, bring in some of that income a little bit. So, you know, I'm not naive enough to believe that fighting's gonna leave me rich beyond all belief after it's all said and done. So I got to make up some money. You know, if there's not a fighter in the UFC that I don't think would tell you that they don't want a shot at that main event title fight. So, and if they are saying that, I don't think they are really there for, you know, the love of fighting and the sport itself. So, yeah, those are things I'd love to achieve. Is it a little late for me? I don't know. I got to keep going through these tough prospects first, and we'll see if the UFC gives me an opportunity.
The card has gotten a little bit of criticism, maybe for not being as star-studded. You know, of course, we have that Charles Oliveira on there, but what do you think of that? Do you think like often those cards turn out to be bangers? Like, what are you expecting from this card?
I mean, I look at it as an opportunity to go in there and put on, you know, a potential fight of the night, hopefully like a potential fight of the year candidate, and maybe, you know, get some eyes and say, hey, you know, we thought this was going to be, you know, a boring card, but dang, this guy Adam Fugitt, he can fight, you know. And as far as, you know, those critics, like you said, you got Charles Oliveira on that card, and he's always exciting. You got Amanda Nunes on there, and she's, you know, rightfully probably one of the greatest females of all time, if not the greatest. So, you know, there's the stars on there, and as you said, we just got a bunch of turnover rate with guys retiring, and the true fans are there to hopefully find some new like heroes or new favorite fighters, you know. And I would be thankful if I was that person.
We're going to wrap up with a little quick fire if it's okay with you. So, who's the hardest hitter right now in the UFC?
Oh shoot, these are always catch me off guard. The hardest hitter's got to be Pavlovich, right?
Yeah, I think so. Best wrestler.
Um, I'd say Cejudo, but Chimaev makes a pretty good you know, argument for himself with what he's done.
Who's the funniest?
Ah, the funniest. I think Volkanovski is probably the funniest.
That's the first vote for Volk. I've done like 40 of these. That's interesting. Okay. So who's the most annoying?
Oh, I mean, it's gotta be that McGregor guy. Why can't he retire already? I mean, get him out of there, you know, or get him in the USADA pool, one of the two.
Who's the best looking fighter in the UFC?
Oh shoot. Gotta be careful on this one. The girlfriend might disagree with me. We're gonna go with dang, put me on the spot. The best looking. We're gonna go with Shevchenko.
Interesting. Who's the best dressed?
You know, I'll give it to Ian Gary with that suit last time. He looked pretty styling.
Wow. And who's got the highest fight IQ?
Oh man. I think it's got to be either Izzy or it's got to be Volk, one of those two.
Who has the coolest tattoos?
Oh shoot. I don't pay attention to enough.
Fair enough. Who would you most like to go out to dinner with?
Get me on a dinner with the boss. I have yet to really have that sit down conversation. So what better place than over a good meal?
It's a smart one. And who's got the best hands?
Ooh, shoot. I'm always a fan of Max Holloway's hands, but we just saw Rob Font not too long ago with that beautiful use of the jab. So he's another good one.
Who would make the best movie star?
Shoot. The best movie star. Am I still there? Okay, sorry. The best movie star. Well, Cerrone retired from movies, so that would have been a good one. But shoot, maybe Robert Whitaker.
Interesting. And who would you most want by your side in a street fight?
Oh shoot. Probably the GOAT. Probably John Bones Jones.
Good choice. And who would be the most fun on a night out?
I'm not a big I'm kind of a more low key, mellow guy, like a nice dive bar or something. So shoot, give me a Derek Lewis.
Good call. And finally, who would be your dream fight in any weight class, past or present?
I mean, I gotta go with one of my goats, Anderson Silva for sure. Just to be in there against that man, the myth, the legend that he is. So
Very nice. Awesome, Adam. Cheers. I appreciate it. Good luck this weekend or next
thanks for
weekend.
having me on, man. Yeah.
Cheers, man. Have a good one.
You.
Thanks.